It's day 114, 114. I have, it's been an odd day. I've tried to, I've tidied my room, tried to get some, been out, got some fresh air, went for a walk, tried to, yeah, just kind of change things a little bit. I'm still not sleeping, so I thought if I go out, go for a walk, get some exercise, do some, then I might sleep a little bit better. I am. Yeah, I've been kind of just relaxing basically since I got back, and that's why yeah, so I better jump on and do this. I had a parcel today. Which I knew was coming because Mark had said, I think it was the day before, 1 or 2 days before Mum passed, that she wanted to get me something so that when she's gone, I've got it to keep. So I was expecting it, but to be honest, with everything that had kind of happened, I'd forgotten. And it's a blanket, and it just basically says that it's got written on it, to my daughter, whenever you need me, use this blanket to wrap yourself in and think of it as a hug. So that turned up today, which was a bit tough. Apart from that, just still feeling very, I messaged my stepdad just to let him know that it had arrived safely, and he was like, glad you like it. I was like, do you need a hand with anything? At the moment he's kind of getting everything sorted and he's going to let me know. He hasn't, he's just like, everything's in hand at the moment, but we'll let you know. I haven't yet come to going through personal bits and things like that. I know there'll be a lot of stuff there. So just trying to decide what's obviously going to be done with everything. I feel like I'm erring a lot today. Just not thinking straight. Like I was hoping to just be able to go straight back to work today. And it's just not going to be possible. Like, it's weird because I'm not excessively emotional or anything, but my head is, it's like a combination of the worst brain fog and confusion and emptiness, and I just, yeah, there is just nothing in there at the moment that is allowing me to kind of just, even if I think about, you know, the thought of working at the moment and like doing my job actually makes me feel a bit sick, because I'm kind of like, yeah, it's really strange. It's like, it feels massively overwhelming, and it's a job I know I can do with my eyes closed. But yeah, so I am taking some time to just process and allow my brain to kind of just go through whatever phase it's going through at the moment. Obviously, it's still extremely early days. I don't know anything about any arrangements that are being made because I've left it all down to my stepdad. So I'm kind of in this limbo, which I don't mind. I always expected him to take control of everything and to be the one to kind of make all the arrangements, but there is this element of kind of, because I suppose I'm not being preoccupied with it like I was when my dad passed, even though kind of things got really messy with my dad. I'm hoping things don't go down that avenue with my mum. I can't foresee it happening, but yeah. So my learning today is that grief is, this is a very different experience. And I don't know whether it's because my dad's passing was so sudden and my mum's was kind of over a long period of time. We knew she was sick. You know, we knew when she got diagnosed with COPD that it would be a matter of kind of, well, they thought at the time that it would be months, and it turned out to be just over 2 years. At the stage she was diagnosed, it could have lived, and like the average, or the when you research it, it's like people can live like up to 8 years after the diagnosis that my mum got. But there was other stuff going on, like complications with her heart, and with the, I don't know whether it was anxiety or whatever, but it was all putting pressure on individual things. So that's obviously, yeah, I don't know whether that's why this feels different, why I'm handling things differently. Who knows? So my learning is that that grief is unique to each person and experience and where you are in your life. My quote today is kind of along those lines, and the quote is, I read a quote that said, "There are years that ask questions and years that answer." And it got me thinking about how trauma shapes our lives in layers, not straight lines. I suppose something that keeps coming to me in waves is you know, there's going to be questions that I have through the rest of my life that only my mum or dad would have known the answer to. They will remain unanswered. But this is the journey that the universe put me on. This is the path that I've been put on. This is what is been given to me as my experience. So just got to keep on. My happiness today is for my happiness today is I reached out to someone who messaged me and just kind of said, feel like everyone that normally messages me is maybe giving me a little bit of a wide berth, which is understandable. You know, I know when I've been in situations when I know some of my friends have been through difficult times, you do kind of change a little bit. You don't want to kind of come across as insensitive and just being your usual self. You kind of want to maybe take a step back and give them some space and stuff like that. And I'm just feeling like, I don't know whether, like, I feel like people have done that and I don't know if I like it. Like, I almost feel like the non-normality of things is kind of is frustrating. And I told this person about it and they were just like, just message me, like, if you need me, I'm here. And then that made me happy, and I think they got it. And my gratitude today is for, do you know what? It's going to be really silly. My gratitude today is for the postman. I had a parcel that should have come through on Friday. I was in all day. I don't know whether he'd just taken some time off because I'd had a different, oh god, I'd had a different postman for a few days, and I always, when I hear the post, I'll always get up and run out and make sure, because by the time I hear him put the stuff through the door, by the time I get up, get out to the front door and open the door, he's normally walked back, gone down the stairs to the street, and he's pushing his little cart up past the front door. And I'll always stand there and just wave and say thank you, and he's always like, oh, you know, have a nice day. And I'm like, yeah, and you. So, and the parcel turned up, like, I got a card pushed through the door saying it would be redelivered on Saturday, but then nothing came on Saturday. And I was just like, oh, this is gonna be like, I've already had this parcel go missing once with £100, over £100 worth of stuff in it, and I was like, I really just can't afford to have this go missing again. So when it didn't turn up on Saturday, I was just like, oh, fuck's sake. But yeah, so he knocked today, because the other post he didn't knock at all. Like, he must have pressed the buzzers and they don't work. So but our post, he knows to just bang on the door. He knows I'm always in. And I went running out, and he was just like, oh, I think the other guy put a note through this door and next door on Friday, and I'm really sorry we didn't get back out on Saturday, but here's your parcel. He's like, it is, because the address was right, but the person who sent it to me sent it with my nickname on. So he's like, is this you? And I was like, yeah. I said, that's just my nickname. He's like, oh, he said, I wasn't sure. So but yeah, he was like, if you've got a card, so tired. He's like, so if you've got a card, just tear it up. This is what we were supposed to deliver. I was like, okay. And he was just like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he had a couple of other letters and stuff for me. But yeah, he was just like, oh, I'm really sorry. And I was like, no, it's fine. I'm just glad it's arrived. Like, I was going to come down and collect it from the sorting office, but it said that it was being re-delivered. So I just thought, I don't want to be down there trying to collect it when you're out trying to deliver it. So yeah, that was but he was so nice about it, bless him. And yeah, it just put a little smile on my face, and it just made me appreciate the interactions that I have with him. So yeah, my gratitude. And the work they do is in all weathers. Like, I don't know if you can hear it, is chucking it down at the moment, and it's supposed to get colder. It's supposed to have snow by the end of the week. Of course we do, because I have my driving lesson on Friday, so I hope it's not snowing by Friday. But yeah, it's these days are definitely interesting. I just thought it was funny as well, someone who I was chatting to who kind of like, their words weren't matching their actions. And I was just like, I've learnt my lesson there big time. And I'm not at this early stage of chatting to someone even gonna entertain, even though it's just a friendship that we're kind of like looking into, like words not matching actions, absolutely not. So I hadn't heard from them in a few days, so I was just like, I'll just delete the number. And then they just messaged me out the blue today, and I just kind of stuck to my kind of decision, which I'm quite proud of. It's tough because, like I said, I'm going through a period of, I wouldn't say feeling lonely, maybe it is lonely. I'm feeling a bit disconnected, and it was a shame because the chats that we'd have were we used to have quite a laugh, but I'm just enjoying speaking to people that don't know anything about anything that's going on at the moment, because I feel like they're not treating me any differently. Sometimes the best friend you've got is a stranger. I think that's why I like traveling and going to new places and meeting new people, is they don't know anything about me. I can be who I want to be without. Sometimes people find it harder to let go versions of you than you do. So yeah, I think that's why I like meeting new people, because they don't have that prerequisite of anything, that conversations or sort of anything that's happened previously. It's kind of a new conversation. But yeah, anyway, it's getting quite late. It is 9:10. So I am going to get this uploaded. Room's all tidy, clean bedding. I had a candle lit, but I've blown it out because the smell was giving me a little bit of a headache. But I don't know whether that's just because I'm tired. My nose feels like I blew my nose earlier, and I had a nosebleed, and I know that is when my body is at its peak. Like when I start having nightmares and when I start getting nosebleeds in my sleep. This wasn't in my sleep. This was just I was like, oh, my nose feels a bit stuffy, and I blew my nose and it started bleeding. So I know that there's obviously some pressure. So yeah, today was to sort the room. Tomorrow is going to be to cleanse myself. So yeah, so for now, Stacey, I love you. I'm proud of you. Stay strong. Keep going, one day at a time. Allow yourself space to learn everything that's going on, to understand, to comprehend. You're not on anyone else's schedule. You can go at your own pace and speed. You don't need to justify what you're doing or how you're doing it to anyone. This is your life. You are allowed to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. People will give their opinions. People will say that they agree with you, they disagree with you. That's absolutely fine. You can listen and you can take on board anything you want to. You may even feel influenced in kind of like that's something you want to do, but you do not have to do anything that anyone else tells you to do. You are allowed to heal and to grow and to grieve in your own way, whatever that way may be, and give yourself some space at the moment. Like it's been on your mind that oh God, I should be at work, and your colleague has just lost someone and they were in work the next day and stuff. You are not them. They didn't lose their mother. Yes, they lost someone, but that, you know, their loss and your loss are two totally independent things. Like, people deal with it differently, and I know that if you felt you could be at work, if that was the best place for you, you would be there. But I just do not feel comfortable or confident in myself at the moment. So I know I need to, as difficult as it is, take a step back and say, I need some time. I don't feel like I'm in a good place to be able to work at the moment. I don't feel comfortable that I would be able to achieve any targets. I don't feel like I would be able to do it without making any mistakes. I don't feel like I'd be able to concentrate. Yeah, and that's okay. So yeah, get this uploaded, get back into bed, put something on your iPad, watch that, and just relax for the evening. And again, I don't think you're going to have any urgent calls from Mark, from your stepdad, from the conversation you had today. So just switch your phone off when it comes to bedtime and just try and get some sleep. And when you wake up in the middle of the night, don't pick your phone up. Just don't. Just leave it switched off. Just rather than just putting it on, turning the Wi-Fi and putting it on flight mode, turn it off. Just turn it off and leave it to one side. And if you get up in the middle of the night, just do whatever you need to do. Grab a glass of water, go to the toilet, whatever it is, and just get back into bed. Do not pick your phone up. Okay. I love you. Keep going. Stay strong. Try and get your friend's project done tomorrow. Like, you were speaking to them today, and you've made promises you'd do it by the weekend. So if you can, try and get it done by the weekend. That would be great. Get it sent to them. But yeah, for now, I love you. You're not alone. I know it feels like you are, but you're not. But just take this time to just heal. But that's it. I'm off. Brain's doing that, or if I remember to say everything. But yeah, I love you, proud of you, and